So yesterday we reflected ordered pairs, just individual points and shapes visually, just thinking about how could we reflect this. So today we're going to talk about what the actual rules are for just getting the new ordered pairs. So for example, when we reflect over the x-axis, we're talking about this line right here. So I gave a little example of what that looks like. Same for the y-axis, just look at the blue dots. I took like this point, reflected it over. Okay, so remember when you're reflecting, you're using some line as like your mirror or your line of symmetry. Okay, so let's talk about over the x-axis first. Notice with these two ordered pairs, they're the same vertically, like they're aligned vertically. So they've got the same x value, it's just the y values that are different. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you the rule for reflecting over the x-axis. Whatever your ordered pair is, you are going to keep the x and change the sign on your y. This little negative here, you can think of it as multiply by a -1, but we know that's going to be the same thing as changing the sign. So this does not mean it's always negative. It doesn't, because if your y was negative originally, it would then become positive. Okay, and I'll go through a few examples here. So for example, let's say you start with 5, 7, and you reflect over the x-axis. You are going to, I'm going to switch colors. Keep your x, change the sign on your y. So I think this is probably the easiest thing we'll have done so far. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say we have -10, -6, and we reflect it over the x-axis. We are going to keep our x, change the sign on our y. Do you see how I'm doing that? What other example might you see? 0, 0, that'd be kind of a special case. Keep your x, and then 0 doesn't even have a sign. Boom. Okay, so that's reflecting over the x-axis. And if you can think about what this rule means here, you might be able to anticipate what the rule is going to be for over the y-axis. So whatever ordered pair you start with. Notice when we were reflecting over the x-axis, we kept our x. So when we reflect over the y-axis, we're gonna keep our y. So that means we're going to change the sign on x and keep our y. For example, let's say we start with 4, 9, and we reflect over the y-axis. My rule tells me change the sign on x, keep the y. Okay, I'll do 2 more. Maybe this time we have -2, -3. My rule tells me change the sign on my x and keep my y. Okay, maybe this time we have the ordered pair 0, 8. My rule tells me change the sign on my x, but it's just 0, and keep the y. And that's about it.